It's New Brew Thursday.
Woo!
And it's the day after Thanksgiving.
Yes, it is.
Yeah. So it's actually Friday.
Black Friday.
Yeah.
And we got a doorbuster for you today.
Oh, yes. And it's black. Well, brown.
It's black enough.
Kind of black.
Black enough.
Turn the lights off, it's black.
Yeah, there you go.
Shut your eyes.
Yeah. Today we're doing chicory stout.
I wear black on the outside, because black is how I feel on the inside. What now?
We're doing chicory stout.
Oh, chicory! That's the chicory stout.
From Dogfish Head.
I was going to say you pointed out and got completely the wrong quote.
It worked, though.
Yeah.
Like we planned that.
No. I've been in a Depeche Mode mood, so.
Oh, that's Depeche Mode.
Yeah. You know.
So yeah, we're doing chicory stout from Dogfish. This is a stout, low-end ABV stout, like 5.2%, made with
Chicory!
chicory.
Actually, well, it's not really made with chicory. It's aged in the chicory barrel, right? That big, huge thing that.
No.
That's a Palo Santo barrel.
Yeah, that's Palo
Oh,
Santo.
yeah.
Yeah.
Mixing up my Dogfish beers.
It's made with a small amount of chicory. I think chicory is a root.
Chicory is, yeah, it's some sort of.
And don't they like
fauna.
Something that they like roast too?
They roast the chicory.
Yeah.
Yes.
And it has coffee in it too.
Mexican coffee, which is odd because they're in Delaware.
And licorice root.
Yes, and St. John's wort, which isn't that like an antidepressant, natural antidepressant?
Works perfectly.
Yeah, it's like this beer will make you smile.
So what you're saying is that this is a quintessential Dogfish Head beer.
Yeah, well, this is they started originally brewing this in 1995, and before they had a brewery, but it was just a brew pub, and they had like a 10-gallon pilot system, and they were like constantly brewing all the time to kind of keep up with what was going on. And Sam got bored with doing the same three ingredients, and so he started making odd beers, and this was one of the first odd beers they made, was this chicory stout. So, and,
Yummy.
it was a winner.
It's delicious too. And Matt's never had this beer.
I know, it's my first time. I know, it's such a classic.
Cheers.
Roasty right off the bat.
Yeah,
This
major
is
roast.
I mean, this is where I would send people who are like to drink Guinness but want to get away from Guinness. This should be their first stop.
This is, but compared to Guinness, this is seriously.
It's got way
Guinness
more
on
flavor.
steroids,
Yeah, it's got
you know?
way more flavor, but the ABV is, only a couple points higher. It's still an entry-level stout, so to speak, as far as ABV goes.
Very easy drinking.
Yeah.
And
It's got a really nice toasty quality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like toasted like biscuits almost. Along with that like roast and coffee.
Well, and it finds a nice balance between being really creamy but really dry on the finish as well,
exactly.
without being thin.
Yeah.
So,
Ooh, that is lovely. I don't see. I've never encountered chicory before, just in general. So
Neither have I. It's
I'm
kind of like the Porter Murillo thing. The fruit.
I don't think I didn't have that one.
You've had that beer,
Did
I
I?
think.
I don't think you did. That was pre-Matt.
Oh no, we opened that with someone else.
Yeah, we did.
Sorry, Matt.
We had one bottle left. We opened it with someone else.
No, I got more though.
Suck it. Damn.
But it's like that.
Always the odd man out.
Is that the name of the tree?
Oh, the Tamarillo.
Tamarillo.
Tamarillo is the name of the fruit that comes
Yeah.
from that tree.
Right.
But chicory,
I'm just saying I relate it to that because I've never had that fruit. So I don't
Yeah,
know what that
exactly.
would taste like.
I really like to have like that ingredient right in front of me to see how much of it's really popping out of this because I don't know. I know it's delicious.
Yeah. It's got a really dry finish.
but
Yeah, it's like dry, like roasty, like especially that back third. It almost gives you that kind of like prickle that you get off of like super roasty beers, you know?
and this is a seasonal, so it's like only out during the wintertime. It comes out like November, December.
I think we
timeframe.
just got it. So,
Yeah.
And when I tweeted about it.
If you want it year round, it's on draft year round at the pub.
Oh, it is.
Yeah.
is?
Wow.
It's kind of cool. This is like we're like officially moving into winter now. We've got the winter seasonal.
Matt's
I've got
wearing
my
a weird hat.
He looks like a longshoreman.
This is what happens when a hipster goes gangsta.
Wow.
I'm gonna cap the next motherfucker who calls me a hipster. I'm sorry.
Because you're gangster.
Well, yeah, apparently you're gangsta now. So, would you say your hip hop name was?
I don't remember.
Special B.
Special B. That's
Yeah,
right.
exactly.
Special B.
Exactly.
He didn't want that to get on the
Word.
Special B. What? Word to your brewer.
Yeah.
Wow. I'll give you a cheers on that one. That was a good one.
Oh,
So-
I'm not choosing that.
I think on that note, we should go see what Dr. Bill has for us today.
I'm sure it's delicious.
That
Liar.
awkward
Yeah, that was an awkward transition. Yeah.
It's fine. There was enough of a pause that we can just edit that out.
Like, so what Dibble's doing, swipe, instant swipe.
So go watch Master Pairings.
Star wipe.
Hey everyone, welcome to another Master Pairings with me, Bill Sysak. Wrong section. All right, fine, Steven. Okay. Anyways, with myself, Bill Sysak, the host, known as Dr. Bill in the craft beer community over the last 30 years, and Steven Johnson, the woohoo guy.
I'm just this guy. You might know me from the
Anyways, I thought we'd do some New England clam chowder.
Oh, very nice.
Clams are normally paired with wheat beers, pilsens, or pilsners from Pilsen, Czech pilsners, in other words, golden ales, things like that.
Right.
But I wanted to do nut brown ale because I think nut brown ale is a really nice match with the creaminess of the great clam chowder and the roasted malts of that. So
pour me some of that luscious sauce, Dr. Bill.
We're nice. we were tasting some terrible pour, but that's okay.
Well, I was like, are you saving any of the beer for yourself?
It'll all come to fruition. Yeah, I just wanted to make you think you had a lot of beer in your
Bill
glass.
just likes to give me head.
Yes. Well, I wanted you to think you had a lot of beer in your glass. Well, I took most of it. So that's how it works.
Cheers.
All right, cheers, everyone. Great nose.
Samuel Smith is one of my absolute favorite nut brown ales because I got into a stage midway through my craft beer exploration where I was a Newcastle guy. And primarily because I visited their brewery in England and I was like, oh my God, it was the first brewery I'd ever gone to, and I was like, oh my God, this is awesome. Love Newcastle. Still think it's a good beer. But when I ran across Sam Smith's Nut Brown Ale, way better beer. Like, just without even comparison. Right. And so it was just such a different experience drinking that over Newcastle.
And they're a different animal from a lot of our Americanized versions. Ours are hoppier and bigger. These are sweeter and small. And yes, Mr. Becker, there is a little diacetyl on the nose of this.
Burn.
Great toasty malts.
Yeah. I didn't know where you were going. I'm like, what's he doing right now? But yeah, the roastedness of the malt, the nutty. It's not nutty as in like there are nuts in this beer. It's nutty as far as like the texture and the mouthfeel.
Anytime anything's roasted, it picks up a nutty characteristic. It holds true with coffee beans. Hold true with different things.
It's a bit nutty.
Even cocoa beans, and so it does this. And so this is a great New England clam chowder stuffed full of yummy clams. Just really good.
Very creamy.
Goes great with the nut brown. Really brings out that roasty characteristic.
Well, that's the thing. Like the roastedness of the nut brown ale kind of enhances the creaminess of the clam chowder, and it brings out just a nice little subtle sweetness that works really well with it.
Yeah, the sweetness of both the beer and the clam chowder play really well, and it brings out the flavor of the clams. So I like it.
It's funny because I think that nut brown ales and clam chowder are both two dishes that taste very good, but are not known for being overpowering in taste, and they both kind of light each other up a little bit.
Yeah, they elevate each other really nice. I mean, this would go really well, and some people do a little bit of spicier clam chowders and things like that. And this beer will go really well with both of those things. So whether it's your standard clam chowder or not. But I like nut brown ales. This is a classic.
You heard it here first.
If you're
Bill likes nuts, brown ales.
If you're getting English, all right, Steven. If you're going to get English brown ales, you want to get them at the source.
Right.
But if you can't, this is a great example that holds up fairly well coming over
Well,
here.
and I think this is, with my Newcastle story, this is a great beer to introduce to somebody who is a big Newcastle fan. This one, and even if you want to stay local, American, whatever, Big Sky's Moose Drool. Another good example.
Is fabulous.
Yeah, another good example of this beer. So, thank you. This was delicious, as usual. You are delicious.
You're very giddy, Steven. Anyway.
Cheers.
Cheers, everyone. Have a great day.
So, we are back with Chicory Stout. I read the book, and I think I've talked about this on the show a number of times, primarily because I'm very proud that I read a book. But the building up, yay! Building Up a Business by Sam Calagione.
Brewing Up a
Brewing up a
Business.
business.
Whatever.
Hey, if you read it. We didn't read the title.
I have a signed copy of it, bitch. What?
Getting it signed and reading it are two very different things.
Whatever. Anyway, in the book, he tells the story of how Chicory Stout actually was a primary cause of Pangea being made because they had a massive problem. I'm going off of distant memory now, but
Paraphrasing.
I believe that there was something wrong with the fermenter, and it ended up blowing the.
I think it was
front
something with a relief valve.
Yeah,
working
it blew
right.
something. It basically blew up, and all of the beer went all over the place, and it damaged, like it blew a door off or something like that.
Wow.
Yeah, it was like a whole bunch of shit happened, and all of this happened while Sam was on vacation with his family, which was like the first vacation he'd taken since opening the brewery and all that stuff. And he was gonna go back and deal with it, but instead he stayed with his family. And he ended up like watching a dinosaur movie with his kid, and it talked about Pangea, the supercontinent, and it got it in his head to like brew Pangea, something from every continent, kind of to bring the world back into focus because he felt like he had lost focus. Anyway, it's a better story than what I'm telling, so you should buy the book and read it.
He told a better version of it in our Pangea episode.
Yeah, you can go back and watch that too if you want.
That's an old one too. That's like
That's pretty old school,
OG,
yeah. Yeah.
wow.
Right on.
Yeah, but this is one of my favorite beers that they do. I kind of wish I had it year round because, I mean, I could literally drink this
Every day
and like be completely fine.
You know, and that's one thing I think people kind of lose sight with Dogfish is like, you know, there's so much focus on, you know, the, you know, Hellhound and, you know, the wacky stuff that they do, like the one-offs. But I mean, you go back to their core brands, and they're such great beers. I'm sorry, 60 Minute is wonderful. You know, and then, you know, all the seasonals, Chicory Stout, the Pumpkin, all great beers.
Well,
you know?
it's beers
And
like
so
this
drinkable.
that allow Sam to do all the crazy stuff that he does. Because
Yeah.
he has a solid line of beers that sell well and taste delicious and prove that he knows what he's doing. And he's not just some, like, you know, you could open a brewery and start brewing random shit. Like, oh, I'm going to make this beer with, like, this in it and that in it. And people are like, okay.
Yeah, exactly.
And
you're like, I'm just
unless you
gonna kick shit out of
prove,
my backyard.
unless you prove yourself as being a decent brewer by brewing beers like this that are like, you know,
You kind of have when you're on their scale, you have to have your staples.
right,
Your
Yeah.
you know your
something that keeps the
beers
lights
that,
on.
You know, but and Sam said before he doesn't want to be known as the 60-minute brewery. You know, and
It's
I
nice
think
they
he's
have
done a
more
good job
broad
of
base.
giving creating a diverse line of.
Well, he's
beers
done a
that
great
come
job
out
of that 'cause-
regularly to not kind of get them away from that because I don't think of them as a 60-minute.
I don't even like when I think of Dogfish Head. 60 Minutes like really low on my list of things that come up next. You know, some of their other beers are so much more, you know, impressive to me than. Not that I don't like 60 Minute. I love 60 Minute, but it's.
See you digging a hole.
No, I'm just saying, like, so many of their beers are delicious that it's like I don't immediately go, oh, 60 Minute IPA. Duh.
Yeah, well, it goes back to the I think on the Belgian episode I said it's you see the beers that are always on the shelves, and there's some parts of the country that don't get 60-minute, and so I'm kind of generalizing here.
for you.
But you see these beers that are always on the shelves, and you tend to overlook them. And 60-minute, at least for us, tends to be one of those beers. It's not the first beer you run to get off the shelf from Dogfish if you're looking for a Dogfish beer because it's always there.
Well, I think that's become even more apparent now that we've all kind of started homebrewing. Because, like, 60 Minute used to be a beer I bought as a fallback. Like, I always would have 60 Minute or, like, Stone IPA or whatever. Now it's like I brew my own IPAs. I keep my own stuff on tap.
Oh, so you're saying you brew better beer than Sam?
Yeah. Sorry, Sam.
Oh.
My homebrew is pretty awesome.
He wins.
Yeah, I'm going to own that.
No, not really.
No, not really. But I do brew cheaper beer than Sam does. So. But when I'm at the shelf and I'm looking for beer to buy, I'm usually looking for something I've never had or something that's new or something that's, whatever, something for the show. So yeah, it's 60 Minute does get overlooked at this point. Although I almost bought some tonight because they had it right underneath the Chicory Stout. I was like,
Yeah,
oh.
it's not on purpose.
Yeah.
It just happens.
Well, especially the other problem is we're in the IPA wonderland.
Yeah.
So it's one of those things to try. And you're like, this is really good, and I'm going to try the other 8,000 IPAs that are brewed all over Southern California. You know?
Yeah, no one can like accuse me of being a Dogfish hater because you walk into my house and it's like Dogfish fanboy. Like,
Oh no!
I got the Dogfish tap handle. I got
just
the
don't want-
Dogfish
I don't
like
wanna make
sign
it-
on my
you
wall.
have the wood sign in your office.
I don't want to make
So-
it sound like we're coming off like 60 Minute is just so yesterday kind of thing. It's just it's perceived to a lot of people as a beer that's always on the shelf.
Right.
Therefore, it gets overlooked.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's still a great beer.
Yeah.
But beers that come out, this, like I said, I think it's probably better that this is seasonal, just because it gives me something to look forward to from Dogfish that I can just buy on a regular basis. And this was probably $8.
$9,
$10.
Depends on where you go.
So
I will say this, when we talk about what beers to do for the show, like I'm very leery about doing a brewery that we've done so many times on the show, and there's pretty much like 2 exceptions to that, and it's Dogfish and Stone.
yeah,
I'll always do
Walker.
Well, we've only done Firestone Walker once though, or twice. So I mean, I'm saying like I would do them more often, but I mean this like when I was going through the list of shows today, I'm like,
Double
wow, we've done a
entendres.
lot of like. I would totally do them all the time. That's not the point. When I was looking through the series of shows that we've done like 5 Dogfish Head shows. Pangea, and now I'm not going to.
well, that just proves how much awesome beer they make. Then.
Right,
I
but
was
that's what
gonna
I'm
say,
saying. It's like they're one of the few breweries that I'm like, I don't care. We're going to do this beer because it's awesome.
Yep.
So anyway, that's
you
a
for
lot of
making-
rambling and tangenting.
Yeah, I just want to say thank you to Dogfish for making this awesome beer.
Yes.
And I'm glad it's out, and I'll be buying.
It's
a few
delicious.
cases of it.
I'm totally stoked. I think I'm gonna pick up a 4-pack of this stuff because, like I said, first time in.
I think they
delicious.
changed the format to a 4-pack. So
No, it's always been
to
a
kind
4-pack.
of- I don't think so. Whatever.
Yeah.
Thanks, Steve,
Whatever.
for stealing my thunder.
Sorry.
Thunder gone.
Sorry. I think the only 6-packs I make are the 60 and 90 minute.
I think I read from Dogfish that they just put it in 4-packs.
Well, if Dogfish said it, they probably know a little bit more about it than I do, so I'll accept that.
That's why I was referencing.
Nice. All right, well, maybe it was 6-packs, now it's 4-packs. Sorry, John, my bad. John's now going to drag me out to the garage and kick my ass.
So thanks to Dogfish Head for creating awesomeness once again.
Amazing.
Yep, always delicious. Every time.
You guys rule. I wish I lived closer to Delaware, but I don't.
Matt and I are just going to leave while John fanboys out to the camera. So,
That bottle's mine, by the way.
my credit card says otherwise.
I'm editing the show.
Nice. All right,
I don't know
well,
what that means.
as always, stay safe and drink beer.